All right. Uh, Dawned on me about an hour after last week's video that I think I played on the Blue on Black video for about 40 seconds if I'm lucky. And I immediately was like, dude, you spent all week working on that song and then you barely played it. So, actually, kind of chose this song, Mannish Boy by Muddy Waters, almost as like a reaction to that last one because I kind of struggled on Blue on Black because it's a simple progression that I kind of almost want to say didn't take seriously enough. And so that night I was walking around and walking the dog, and somehow I landed on Muddy Waters, and I landed on this song, Mannish Boy, which I've heard a million times. I think the first time I ever heard it was in Goodfellas, and it's just the fucking meanest lick, and that's all it is. It is just one, five, flat three, one. And I think I even knew the lick before, but this week really I just was like, hey man, you've got these three notes to play and a groove, and I just really tried to work on making the fucking best I could out of that. I had a little bit of bells and whistles. He does this cool, which I love. Tried to play it in a couple of different spots. But the song doesn't really do that. The song really just does. And so basically this week I just worked on my shuffle, worked on my rhythm, worked on my groove, and just holding that down. Like there were a handful of nights where I would just, especially since there's all that space, I would just throw on a TV show or an episode, and either the beat drums or a metronome, and just go for as long as I could, like 15, 20, 30 minutes if I could. I saw a clip of Billy Gibbons last week where he was saying, I think it was like one of the first times he ever jammed with the other guys in ZZ Top or something, and they did a shuffle in C for like 3 hours, and I was like, oh my god, like I think I always underestimate what goes into playing rhythm guitar because the lead gets all the flashy stuff, but the more I work on the rhythm, the more I just come to respect it and see that if you're gonna have one or the other, the rhythm is where it's at. But also just like how deep you can feel it. And so that was the song I worked on this week. I did look up, I couldn't figure out the turnaround, but I've also learned that turnarounds are something I really need to focus on. And I've been doing a little bit of that, but I did look up what the turnaround was on this because I couldn't figure it out. But it's really simple. It's just the major third, 4, flat 5, 5, and then he does like a little A sharp 7 drop down to it. Not A sharp. Like a F 7 to an E to the 5. So. Try that one more time. But really, what I worked on the most was just. bass in there. The other challenge that I really liked about this is that I think my instinct is to start everything on the one, and this does not start on the one. It ends on the one. So that, even though it's the same thing over and over again, I think that's actually what makes it feel like the song is both moving and staying still. It's almost like, feels like somebody walking on a treadmill, but it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3, and it's actually, I think it's on the and of 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Like, I've actually been doing that first note. I think you can do it all on downstrokes, but I kind of actually like giving it an upstroke. 1 and 2 and 3. 2 and 3. 2 and 3. 2 and 3. So, cool place to start it, actually. It kind of forces you to think about the whole bar and rhythm. So, anyway, I listened to a lot of Muddy Waters this week, not just this song. I listened to a whole bunch of Muddy Waters. I'm going to be doing some more Muddy Waters in the future because, man, it's so easy for me to just get wrapped up in trying to do the Stevie Ray Vaughan thing, which I am so far from being able to do, but you watch old clips of Stevie Ray Vaughan and he's like, just work on your shuffle. And so that's what I've been doing with my Muddy Waters. Man, really, really cool, just old school blues. This was a great choice. I'm really excited that I did this one. So I will see you next week.